Peoples, what's going on? I am Finesse. Back here behind me is Bella, and today we're continuing our conversation about Indian motorcycles and the Indian motorcycle lineup. All right, so if you are a brand new rider or you're already a rider and you're looking to add Indian motorcycle to your garage, you are definitely in the right place. All right, so last week we left off with the Indian motorcycle Roadmaster and how for a while, or up until recent years, the Roadmaster was the ultimate touring bike that Indian Motorcycle offered to you. And some people still may feel that way, but in my opinion, I think there's a bike that has surpassed that, as you can see behind me. However, we'll get into that here in a little bit. But first, I want to let you guys know that when we're talking about these motorcycles today, which is going to be the Challenger, the Pursuit, as well as the Elite Lineup, you're going to find that a lot of these vehicles, or excuse me, you're going to find that these motorcycles there's not much that separates them. However, the things that do separate them, in my opinion, are worthy of that separation. All right. And you can make your own opinions based on, the information that I give you. And definitely let me know in the comments if there's enough separation between them. All right. Now we got all of that out of the way. Let's get into this first motorcycle, which is going to be the Indian Challenger. To get into the Indian Challenger family, it's going to cost you anywhere from $24,999 all the way up to $31,999, right? So at $24,999, the entry-level Indian Challenger is going to come in two colors. It's either going to be black metallic or titanium smoke. There's going to be no icon colors. We're talking about the base version here. And the trim on that motorcycle, you're going to have a mix of black parts as well as chrome parts throughout the bike. Not to the point where it looks odd or weird, but it just has a different look to it. Okay, and I'll get back to that here in a bit. So with the Indian Challenger being at the top tier of what Indian Motorcycle provides, of course you're going to have the top tier engine that Indian Motorcycle builds, at least in my opinion, which is going to be the Power Plus 108. It's going to give you 122 horsepower at 128 foot-pounds of torque. You're also getting inverted forks and a hydraulically adjustable Fox suspension in the rear. And I've said this time and time again, the way Indian Motorcycle is sprung, they do such a great job getting these bikes to be not only sporty, but comfortable at the same time, okay? So if for the inverted forks, if you're familiar with sport bikes, it's going to be the same thing as USDs, upside down forks. And when you're looking at the rear shock, I think a lot of manufacturers will have the shock like either on one side or the other, or they'll have them on the outside. But for this particular motorcycle, they have a mono shock, a single shock in the rear. And you have the traditional adjuster, which is the knob on the side of the bike that you can adjust your preload. And just the ease of being able to dial in just one spring and damper setup, it's just so much easier. You're not having to go to each side and do this and that and the other. It just makes it easier for you as a consumer when it comes time to adjust your bike. Also, you're going to have a cast aluminum frame. So just like the FTR, just like the Scout, just like the Thunderstroke 111 and 116 family. So your Springfield, your Chieftain, and your Roadmasters, right? They all have a frame, right? That engine has a frame. So each of these engines that Indian Motorcycle produces has a frame. So that kind of helps with the uniqueness of these motorcycles, because if you're getting into an Indian Challenger, you're not sharing that platform with any other motorcycles, okay? The same goes for the rest of those with the Scout, FTR, the Chieftain, so on and so forth. When you get those motorcycles, you're not sharing those motorcycles with other types throughout the family. and it really helps with making these motorcycles unique. And that cast aluminum frame, so your engine is also going to be part of that frame. Okay, the engine runs around the frame, connecting on either end, and then the middle piece, the middle portion of the frame is inclusive of the engine. All right. So, of course, this being at the top tier, you're going to have LED lighting from front to rear. You're also going to get dual disc Brembo brakes up front, and then you'll have a single brake in the rear. So your front wheel is going to be a 19-inch wheel, and the rear wheel is going to be a 16-inch wheel. You're also getting the 7-inch Ride Command touchscreen system, which is going to give you 3 ride modes. So you get Rain, Standard, and Sport. For audio, you get 100-watt audio with 5 1/4 speakers. Just another thing to point out, for the Challenger, the entry-level Challenger, if you're looking at the front wheel is going to be completely black, and there's going to be no pinstripe on it. All right. Now, like I said, we were talking about this red pinstripe. On the Challenger Limited, this is going to be the first motorcycle that you're in the lineup that's going to have that red pinstripe with the machined accents on the wheel. So, Indian Challenger Limited is going to cost you $28,499. You're going to get a few more color options with the black metallic, maroon metallic, and spirit blue metallic with black metallic accents. All right. And since this is the limited version of the Challenger, we already know it's going to have chrome accents. So your engine, exhaust, handlebars, light bezels, so on and so forth. Those things are going to be outfitted with chrome. And now that we've stepped it up a little bit, we've also stepped the price up a little bit. You're going to have the 6-axis IMU with this model. And the IMU is going to measure your acceleration and lean angle in all directions. And that's going to be used to tune your traction control system and your ABS system in real time. Also, you're going to get ABS cornering control, and you get drag torque control. Okay, so drag torque control, what it does, it's going to reduce your rear wheel slipping with either quick downshifts or like a quick deceleration. Again, not versed. This is just how I understand it. If you want more information about either of those safeties or any of the safety systems, definitely go to the Indian Motorcycle website and check that out. All right. And with the Limited, you're also getting upgraded speakers. So instead of the 5 1/4, you're going to have the 6.5 power band speakers. And I am here to tell you, those speakers are loud. They are loud. I mean, and I was running highway speeds on my Challenger. I had no problem hearing the music. All right. But of course, that's subjective. Some of us hear better than others. Some of us don't hear at all. So on and so forth. So your mileage may vary. All right. That's just my opinion. Next up in the Challenger lineup is going to be the Challenger Dark Horse. That's going to start you out at $29,499. Again, you're going to see the red pinstripe on the wheel. And you're also going to get a few more color options than what you previously got on the Limited version. And that's going to be black smoke, titanium smoke. So, interesting fact about the titanium smoke. It used to be only offered on the base version of the Challenger. However, for 2023, they added the titanium smoke to the Dark Horse, and that looks beautiful, man. It's just a good looking bike. Mrs. Finesse agrees as well. She sat on it at the dealership. Really good looking color. All right. Also, you're going to get an Indy red with black accents. And in addition to that, you're also going to get icon colors. Okay. So for the icon colors, you're going to have sagebrush smoke. So all my Army fans out there, you're going to get riot orange smoke. And you're also going to get storm blue with black metallic accents. All right. So now, this being the Dark Horse, we know that all the trim and accents, those things are going to be in black. And you're also getting all the same features that you got on the Limited. You're just getting a Dark Horse version of it. Okay. So you're getting the safety systems. You're getting the upgraded audio, so on and so forth. So in my mind, who is this motorcycle for? It is for someone like me. That was my first Indian motorcycle. If I would say if you're anywhere between, well, okay. So like I said earlier, Mrs. Finesse did sit on Challenger when we were at the dealership. And she picked the bike up, no problem, off the kickstand. And she's sitting there on the bike. However, she's on the balls of her feet. Okay. And if you're looking at getting one of these motorcycles and you're in the 5.2, 5.3 range and you're on the ball of your feet, just be aware that when you get to unlevel surfaces, and you go to put your foot down, you may encounter some problems. All right. So in my opinion, anywhere from 5.5 on up is probably where you're going to want to be with this motorcycle. So if you're looking to get into one of these motorcycles, these are fantastic machines. Fantastic machines. They're powerful when you need them to be powerful, and they're smooth when you need them to be smooth, which is all the time in my case, especially when you start doing long distance riding, right? And not to mention that it has a 6-gallon fuel tank. I think I forgot to add that. There's a 6-gallon fuel tank, so that range that you're going to be getting on this motorcycle is going to be increased. So the need to be able to sit on it for long periods of time, you're going to need that comfortable suspension, okay? So if you're into power and touring, the Challenger is the best of both worlds, and you're going to love it. Right? All right, so last but not least, before we get into the elites, we're going to be talking about the Indian Pursuit. So the Indian Pursuit is going to cost you anywhere from $30,999 all the way to $37,499, right? So there is no Indian Pursuit base. There's only the Indian Pursuit Limited and the Indian Pursuit Dark Horse, all right? Each one of those is going to have a premium package associated with it. So you could technically say there's 4 trims, but for the purpose of this, we're going to divide them up into 2, okay? So I'm just going to talk about the standard models, and then we're going to talk about the premium package models, all right? So for the Pursuit Limited, we know limited means chrome, so you're going to have your chrome accents, and you're going to get 3 different color choices with the chrome version, and that's going to be the black metallic, spirit blue metallic, or the maroon metallic with crimson metallic accents, all right? On the Dark Horse version of the Pursuit, you're getting 4 color options. So you're going to have black smoke, you're going to have stealth gray, silver quartz smoke, and striker red with black metallic accents. All right. So as far as the Pursuit goes, you're going to have the same features as the Indian Challenger because it's off of that platform. So if when we were talking about the Indian Challenger, the base version, that motorcycle does not have the IMU, okay? So for these motorcycles are not going to have the IMU either because these are the base versions of the Pursuit, okay? And for these not to include the IMU, I get it because there are some folks out there that does not like the computer mitigating the throttle in certain situations. So if you're one of those type of people that want to do your own throttle mitigation, then this is going to be the kind of bike that you're going to want. And those people do exist, and Indian Motorcycle understands that, so that they offer these motorcycles without it, right? Of course, they're still going to have ABS though, right? So in addition to everything you get on the Challenger, you're also going to have hard lower fairings. You're going to have a taller windshield. Now, if you're looking at the Pursuit behind me, you're looking at Bella, this is not the stock windshield. This is the aftermarket Indian Motorcycle windshield. The windshield that comes stock on here is much taller than this. and I'll show you that here in a minute. It also comes standard with the Tour Pack, as well as heated grips. You're also getting the 200-watt power band audio. With the Tour Pack and the saddlebags, you're getting 35 gallons of storage. On the site, it says it's an optional upgrade to add the electronic suspension, but we'll get into that here in a minute. Moving on to the premium packages. So if you're looking at either the Pursuit Limited or the Pursuit Dark Horse, to get into the premium package for either one of those bikes is going to be a $3,000 upcharge. Okay, so the Pursuit Limited with the premium package is going to be $33,999. The Pursuit Dark Horse with the premium package is going to be $34,999. All right. So for your extra money, for the limited version, you're going to have the same 3 colors as the Pursuit Limited. However, with the premium package, you get the option for an icon color, which is the copper metallic. And that copper metallic looks really good. Okay. So the same thing with the Pursuit Dark Horse with the premium package. You're going to have the same colors as the Pursuit Dark Horse, but you're also going to add in the icon colors, which is going to be quartz gray and pearl white with black metallic accents. The pearl white with the black metallic accents, there's also some red, there's red in there too. But that pearl white motorcycle is just beautiful. I mean, it's not my style. I don't think it'd be right for me, but the color on that thing is absolutely amazing. All right. Whew. So in addition to all the things that you're going to get on the Pursuit Limited and the Pursuit Dark Horse, the premium package adds a diamond stitched heated seat for both the passenger and the rider. Also, the tour pack, the back of the pad on the tour pack, that also has diamond stitching on it. It's coming standard is the electronically adjustable suspension. So you have your preload adjustment right there on your touch screen. It also comes standard with the Smart Lean Tech. So you get the IMU, the drag torque, the ABS cornering, all those things. In the hard lowers, you're also going to have LED driving lights. And then also talking about the hard lowers, it does come stock with, or it comes standard with storage bins in the hard lowers. Okay, so you're going to have more than enough space to store things on this motorcycle when you're doing those touring trips. So when we're thinking about the Pursuit, think of 2-up touring, and you're doing 2-up touring comfortably. You are, when you're looking at the Pursuit Limited and the Dark Horse, you're comfortable, you have what you need, you know. When you look at the premium package versions of it, you're comfortable, you have what you need, plus a little bit extra with the heated seat. And I'm here to tell you that heated seat works fantastic. And then on top of that, when you got those lowers there blocking the wind and the debris and all those things that are coming at you on the road, that's keeping your legs warm when it's cold outside. And then you have your heated seat that's keeping your butt area warm. And then you got the grips, your hands are warm. So all you need really is your jacket to do its job, and you're going to be super comfortable in any kind of weather on this motorcycle. Now, flip side of that, when it's hot outside, the lowers, you have the little doors on the lowers to allow the wind to come through. Now, it depends on who you talk to. I've had people say that their feet are warm on either the right side or the left side. And then I've heard people saying that their inner thighs get hot on this motorcycle. Me personally, I have not had that experience. I'm always wearing riding boots, and I'm always wearing like thick jeans. So, you know, I'm not wearing like sweatpants and shorts and those types of things. So I can't speak to any of that. But all I know, as in my experience, I have not experienced excessive heat. I mean, it's an engine, okay? We're blowing up fuel between our legs, so there's gonna be some heat, all right? Whether or not the engine is liquid cooled or not. So, you know, to think that there wasn't gonna be any heat, I think is just, you're going in it blind already. But I will say, with the radiator fan, when it kicks on, it does blow the hot air towards your feet. So that is a bit uncomfortable when it kicks on. But outside of that, I haven't noticed anything excessive, okay? All And also, we were talking about this windshield. Like I said, this is an aftermarket windshield. This right here is the windshield that came on the motorcycle. So if I was to put it up there, you can see it's a good, 5-6 inches taller than what comes on its stock. And I had to change that because me at 5'9" on this motorcycle, the windshield in its lowest position was right at my eyes, okay? And with it being right at my eyes, it blocked a lot of wind. And when me, Miss Finesse, and JT and his wife went to Columbus, we were traveling in 100-degree weather, and I travel with a full face helmet. I don't do half helmets when I'm going long distance. And it was not allowing any wind to get in the helmet, right? So I'm literally suffering on the way. So I ended up having to ride with the visor open, which for me is not good. I have dry eyes, so things get caught in my eyes all the time. So I gotta protect my eyes at any cost. But doing that, I needed to make a change. I needed to get a lower windshield so when I'm wearing a full face helmet, the wind can come in. Now, if I was 6'1", 6'2", maybe not such a big deal because it wouldn't be covering up my face, because that windshield does a great job at blocking everything. Debris, bugs, wind, rain, all of that, especially when you raise it up all the way, it's going to send everything over your head. But in the hot months, for me, it needed to be changed. So that's what I did. All right. And then also with the electronic suspension being optional on the base versions of the Pursuit, you can also add this to the Challenger. All right. So, and when you add the electronic adjustable suspension to the Challenger, as well as the base model Pursuit, the ride command system knows how to recognize that, and it will automatically put the adjustment information on your screen, on the touch screen display. So that's really, really cool. So if you get the bike and, maybe you didn't want to put out for the top model, later on you can go and buy it, add it to your motorcycle, and it's like it came with it. So really cool feature. And it's awesome that Indian Motorcycle allows you to do that. But if you're not into the top high end, you can still get those features with the base model version. You're just gonna have to buy it after the fact. All right, everybody, we have done it. We went from the Indian Motorcycle FTR all the way through to the Indian Motorcycle Pursuit. And now we're going to be talking about Indian Motorcycle Elites. These are their top tier motorcycles. These are the best of the best that Indian Motorcycle offers. And they separate them. They do a great job at separating themselves from the rest of the Indian Motorcycle lineup. But of course, that is my opinion. After this video, I would love to know your opinion on these as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, to get into the Elite family, it's going to cost you anywhere from $35,499 all the way up to $39,999. All right. The Elite line of motorcycles have a few commonalities in what you're going to be getting. So each of them is going to feature a unique paint or a paint scheme. You're also getting unique wheels. Each of them are outfitted with adaptive headlights. The controls are backlit. Each of these motorcycles has a unique a seat that goes along with it. You get saddlebag speakers. You get upgraded floorboards. And all the decals on the motorcycle are going to be painted onto the bike. Okay. Outside of the Chieftain, where they have decals on the fuel tank still. So those Indian Motorcycle decals that are on the side, those are still there on the Chieftain. Other than that, all the others are painted through. Okay. Now, when we start discussing the Elites, you are going to notice that as far as the features go, they're kind of limited simply because your dark horse versions are going to have a lot of these options as well. So to upgrade to the elites, we're getting into a different type of category, which you'll see here in a minute. But just know that a lot of the options, we're going to kind of go through this a little quicker because a lot of the options we already know because they're on the dark horse versions of these motorcycles. All right. So with the Chieftain, of course, you're getting that Thunderstroke 116 engine, and it's going to cost you $35,499. The paint scheme that's on the Chieftain is super graphite smoke, black smoke with bronze accents. And when I initially saw this motorcycle, I didn't really care for it too much because I don't think the pictures did it justice because we got one here at Savannah Motorsports and I was able to get down there and take a look at it. In person, it is just a beautiful bike, man. There's no denying that is just a beautiful bike. All right. And anybody that owns one of these elites, they're gonna say the same thing. They're just beautiful bikes. All right. Also, you're gonna get a flared tinted windshield. All right. And then the bronze engine trim. So you're gonna have the heads on the 116 engine. Those are gonna be in bronze. Your transmission cover, the derby cover, those also are going to be in bronze. It's a very beautifully done paint scheme, and they're gonna further separate them because they're only making 175 of these motorcycles. So what that means is 9 times out of 10, if you have one of these, if you were lucky enough to get one of these motorcycles, you're going to be the only one in the area. For the most part, okay? And that's where the actual elite part of the motorcycle comes in because nobody else is gonna have it, okay? And to have an entry fee into that for $35,499, that's gonna be way less than any other American motorcycle on the road today as far as the uniqueness goes and it being such a limited run, okay? Next up, we're going to have the Challenger, which is going to put you at $35,999. You are also getting that flared tinted or flared black windshield. The color that it comes in is the sapphire blue smoke, right? And that sapphire blue smoke is just beautiful. The images, the blue seems a bit lighter than what it really is. When I saw the motorcycle in person, it's like just dark, real dark blue, beautiful dark blue. And then you've got these silver trim accents throughout the bike. And they also have little images of the headdress stamped throughout the paint. So it's a really good looking bike, really handsome looking bike. The engine has a silver trim to it. Instead of like the bronze, like the one on the Chieftain. So this one is even more unique because it's got the silver trimmed engine and other components. They have a silver trim to them. And even more so for the Challenger, there's only 150 units sold worldwide. So just like the Chieftain, you're not going to see anybody else with that bike unless you're going to like some large Indian motorcycle event, like the Jack Daniels run, things of that nature. You're probably not going to see any of those bikes. And if you don't own one, the chances of you seeing one out on the road it's even less likely. So man, I tell you. All right. Last but not least, we have the Indian Pursuit Elite. That comes in super graphite metallic, black metallic with shadow bronze accents. Beautiful, beautiful bike. I was lucky enough to have a good friend of mine, Robert Simmons. He ordered the Elite Pursuit here from Savannah Motorsports. Every chance I get, I'm staring this bike down. It's just a good looking bike. The color scheme, of all the other Elites, it's the only one that has the shiny paint. The other two have the matte finish paints. And it is a head turner, man. Okay. And on the Pursuit Elite, it's going to have bronze trimmed heads. As far as the seat goes, So it does have a diamond stitch seat. However, the stitching is bronze. The piping on the seat is bronze. The Indian motorcycle logo on the seat is actually stitched into the seat. So there are some differences. And I forgot to add, the Elites do come with the saddlebag lights as well. So that's another option to add on to it. But the Pursuit Elite is just gorgeous. Man, that thing is gorgeous. Just like the Challengers, there's only going to be 150 of those across the U.S. And the chances, like I said, the chances of you seeing it here in Savannah, you're going to see that Pursuit Limited or the Pursuit Elite running around, every now and again. So, we'll be lucky enough to see it here. But anywhere else, I can count on my hand how many times I saw an Elite motorcycle somewhere else, which was one, and that was down in Daytona, and it was a demo bike. It was the 22 Challenger Elite. So outside of that, I haven't seen an Elite in the wild. But like I was saying earlier, there's not a lot of differentiation as far as add-ons or mods, because when you're getting these bikes, everything that's core to the Challenger, to the Chieftain, to the Pursuit, you're getting all of those options. What's separating you is the unique paint and the number of units, okay? There are so few of these bikes out there that you are really and truly an elite, or you are, you're one of the few people that are going to own these machines. And that could be either a good thing or a bad thing, because it'll make you not want to modify it. It'll make you not want to drive it. But these bikes were built to drive, built to tour. And these Elite models are really nice. All right, so who is the Elite motorcycles for? Elite motorcycles are for that person that really wants to stand out. Maybe you don't have a lot of time to wrench on your bike. Maybe, when you get out, you're just you want to be out every now and again, but you want to, one, do it in style, and two, be one of the most unique bikes out there. And I mean, this is going to be the bike for you. You're going to stand out no matter where you go. 9 times out of 10, when you park somewhere, you're going to be able to park up front. I know for the Jack Daniels event, if you got a Jack Daniels bike, you park up in the front. They have its own section, so that's really cool. But if you really want to stand out in the crowd, then this is the bike for you. All right, so like I said, that is going to do it for the Indian motorcycle lineup. What bike was your favorite bike? If if money wasn't an option, what would you do? Okay, I would love to know down in the comments. I really appreciate you guys' support and enjoying this channel. And like I say all the time, man, ride every day. And most importantly, make sure you enjoy it. Peace.